Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for joining me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to talk about self-esteem as it relates to our opinions. Let me just go straight with it so that I won't drag this episode beyond 9-10 minutes. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Avoid having your self-esteem so attached to your opinions that when your opinions fall, so does your self-esteem. Avoid having your self-esteem so attached to your opinions that when your opinions fall, which often they will definitely fall, they are opinions for a reason, so does your self-esteem. In other words, do not associate your self-worth with your opinions so closely, because opinions should fall. That's why they exist. They are opinions. They are like hypotheses. They are not tested yet. When they are tested, they might be false. They might not be correct. But when you have your self-esteem so attached to your personal opinions, when your opinions fall against reason, against good judgment and good argument, so your self-esteem will also fall. So that is what we will talk about. I will give some examples, some insights, and then we draw today's episode to a close. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself feeling personally attacked or crushed when someone disagrees with your opinions? Or do you feel the need to defend your ideas at all costs, even if it means compromising your relationships or your sense of self? If so, you may be unknowingly attaching your self-esteem to your opinions, and this will lead to a fragile and unstable sense of self-worth. If you know me, which most of you listening do know me at least a little bit, you will know that I defend my point of view so vehemently. I will bring out data, I will bring out logical arguments, all right? And I'm not scared of you challenging them. Most people think I'm always trying to defend my point of view. And that's the truth, all right? I'm always trying to defend my point of view. But I'm so smart that if you bring a very strong argument, I will learn. That's the smartness of my defense. Punch holes in whatever point of view or opinions I might hold. Find the holes and punch it. But don't emotionally blackmail me when you cannot find holes in them and you just say, you are not listening to me. Come on. Communicate better. Find holes in my argument. That's the beauty of it. The moment you are able to puncture my opinions, I move. I find reason with you and then I learn. That is the difference between me and most people. But that I will not defend what I believe is my opinion or what I think I'm correct on. Come on, man. That means you don't know me. That is what I encourage people to do. Do not so much attach your life to your opinions. That doesn't mean you shouldn't defend your opinions. If you feel strongly about it, if you have data to back it up, if you have facts on the table, not just some sentimental emotionality, but you have facts to defend your opinion, come on now, defend it. But do not be so attached to it that when there is counter intelligence that really it's obvious, the fact is obvious that your opinions are not correct, you feel so dejected because your self-worth and self-esteem is attached to it. Do you understand me? So here's the truth. Our opinions are not who we are, all right? Because I defend my opinion doesn't mean that is who I am. That's just my opinion, all right? That's what I believe, all right? That's what I think is correct. That doesn't mean that is who I am. That's why you cannot get me riled up and get me angry. That doesn't mean I cannot choose anger. I can choose anger and then we fight it out. But you cannot get me angry. I will be the one that will choose anger, all right? So because I know that my opinions are not who I am. And that is also true about you. Your opinions are not who you are. Opinions are simply ideas. They are just beliefs that we hold at any given moment. The next moment I can change my mind. I have the right to change my mind. I have the grace and the right to change my mind, and so do you. Opinions can change, they evolve, and even they can be challenged without threatening our worth as individuals. But when we tie our self-esteem to our opinions, we become trapped in a circle of defensiveness, closed-mindedness, and emotional turmoil. This is the reason why I know that I'm not attached to my opinions, even if I defend them vehemently. Because my peace is not rattled. All right, when I'm defending myself with some aggression and all that, my peace is not rattled. If you can dissect me and enter my core soul, you will discover that I'm at peace. All right, I'm just vibing. I'm at peace. All right, so that's how I know that my opinion and my self-worth are not attached. Do you understand me? So let me ask you this. And then we explore one or two examples. How can we break free from this harmful pattern? Because it is harmful. How can we cultivate a healthier relationship with our opinions? Let me give you an example. Imagine you have a very strong opinion about a political or social issue. When someone presents a different perspective, instead of feeling attacked or defensive, you can choose to engage in a respectful and open-minded, humorous dialogue. By recognizing that your self-worth is not tied to your opinion, you can approach the conversation with curiosity, with empathy, questioning, and with a willingness to learn. I'm not saying you should agree with them. I'm saying you learn from different viewpoints. Do you understand? You learn. All right. Consider a situation, for example, where you receive feedback or criticism on a project you've worked on. Instead of taking it personally and letting it affect your self-esteem, you can separate your self-worth from the work itself. You can view feedbacks as an opportunity for your growth and for your improvement. You can maintain a healthy self-image and continue to evolve and learn. This is what I will advise you to do. Practice self-acceptance. That's where it starts from. Accept yourself. Practice self-compassion. Be compassionate towards yourself. Remember that your worth as a person is not dependent on being right or having all the answers. Your worth is not dependent on you being right all the time or having all the answers, all right? Embrace your strengths. Acknowledge your limitations. We all have them. Cultivate a sense of inner worth that is independent of external validation. That doesn't mean you don't learn. That doesn't mean you are close-minded. No, you know who you are, that you are a human being that has weaknesses and strengths and limitations. So accepting all of who you are will help your self-worth, will build your inner self-worth, will build your inner worth that is not dependent on external validation. Let me give you another example as we wrap this up. Imagine a scenario, right, where you are discussing a very controversial topic with a friend or a loved one. Rather than trying to prove your point or convince them of your opinion, you can shift your focus to listening, to understanding. Do you understand? See, when you are in a relationship with someone, you should, and I'm recommending that as someone that have been on both ends of this relationship spectrum, you should prioritize truth, personal growth, and the relationship higher than opinions. Truth, personal growth, and the relationship should be priority over opinions. So your opinions might not be the truth, all right? So when you prioritize truth, both of you now, when you prioritize truth, when you prioritize personal growth and you really like each other, it's easy to discuss, it's easy to banter, it's easy to even argue without cursing each other out. Do you understand me? So approaching the conversation with empathy and an open mind, you will be able to foster deeper connections. You'll be able to create a space for respectful dialogue, even in the face of disagreement. So I will advise you as I wrap this up. Cultivate intellectual humility. All right. Embrace the idea that there is always more to learn and discover. Be willing to admit when you don't have all the answers and approach conversations with genuine curiosity for you to understand different perspectives. Remember what we're talking about. Avoid having your self-esteem so attached to your opinions that when your opinions fall,